Hey everyone, my name is Josh, and this is the team's recap. The news has stacked up. It has been a couple weeks or so, and therefore the browser that I'm about to share, the browser window, is filled with tabs to go over. I will do my best to be as timely with it as I can, but yeah, there's a lot to catch up on, so we'll get there. We're going to start by talking about events that are taking place over the next few weeks, and we'll start by just briefly highlighting the fact that UC Expo in the UK out in London happened last week, I believe. Last week or the week before. I think it was. I'm getting lost in space and time here. There's a lot going on. UC Expo just happened, and from the looks of everything on social media, it was a hit. A lot of good content, great displays by vendors and whatnot. A lot of satisfied attendees from what I saw. So, a great job to the UC Expo team on a conference well done. We will move from there to what is coming up, as well as what is happening this week, and look to the future a bit with these events. And then we'll jump into news. So without any further ado, let's get over there. Infinity screen and browser. Here we go. You knew I was gonna start with this, okay? It's a shameless plug for a conference that I happen to be one of the co-organizers on, so I need to talk about it as things evolve. But seriously, we are less than 3 weeks away from the first ever Comms V Next conference happening in Denver, Colorado, and I couldn't be more excited about this. It will be taking place in the Microsoft NPC in the Denver area. And if you have not registered yet, commsvnext.com registration is getting close to full. It is very well registered at this point. So if there are still some seats left in the next couple of weeks here, grab one when you can, and we definitely look forward to having you. It's going to be a blast. A lot of friendly, familiar faces, lots of awesome deep dive content. And of course, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on. Um, I won't dive into the details of it. We covered that in previous episodes, and you can find more out about it at Comes Next. But the one thing I do want to talk about right now is the party, because what could be more important than the party, right? Our attendee party has finally taken shape. We have put it on the website. All the details fell into place. It is going to be taking place at the View House Centennial. Please note there are several view houses in town, so make sure you get the right one when looking it up. It is going to be from 6 to 10 p.m. Join us for food, brews, and views with the best community out there, as goes the line here. Well done, Jonathan, on writing that. And then here's a quick view, a few pictures of what the event looks like. Games, that is going to be awesome. But it looks like the perfect place to soak in some of the awesome, famous mountain views of Denver and have a few drinks, catch up with friends from across the industry that you haven't talked to in a while, have a bite to eat, and just have a good time before all the festivities of Saturday kick off. Lastly, before we leave this page, I want to say a very big thank you to the sponsors of the party that made this thing happen, Polycom and Plenum. Thank you guys, both organizations, for your generosity and support with this attendee party to kick off and make sure that Comms V Next gets started in style. Really appreciate it. Thank you both very much. Everybody that's attending and those that are going to be signing up momentarily, we'll see you in just a few weeks. Okay, done with that. Let's move over to user groups. Now, if you're in the US and you don't know about the Skype and Teams user group, I'm not going to dive into all the details today. Just go to skypeug.com to learn more. But the skinny is this is a quarterly user group focusing on Microsoft UC. So Teams, Skype for Business, things of that nature. This quarter, Q2, all the meetings for Q2 are happening across the country over the next couple weeks here, including many this week. Actually, 3 of them tonight that we'll talk about in just a second here. Great way to network, meet local people in your community that are involved in the same industries, and learn a little something about the technologies as well. Find out what's new, maybe get a free meal out of it. Good stuff. These are a great resource for the community. So if you live in any major city or anywhere close to a major city throughout the US and you think you'd like to attend one, come to the website, go to meetups, see what's near you, and make sure you attend the next one. As far as what's available right now, tonight, if you, I doubt anyone is going to have time to make it to any of these by the time I put this video out there, but we have Boise, Nashville, and Detroit happening tonight. 3 already. Tomorrow, the group that I am a local chapter organizer for is happening. The Tampa, Florida location is happening from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern. Lunch will be served. We're going to be talking about lots of good roadmap items and recap from Enterprise Connect. There's a lot of cool things to catch up on. So if you are anywhere near the Tampa Bay area, I hope we will see you tomorrow. Please go register so we know to prepare for you. We also have Charlotte happening tomorrow, Spokane, Washington, San Jose, and then Thursday we've got Overland Park, Kansas. Next week we've got Downers Grove, Illinois, Chicago. We've also got Irvine, California happening. And then a couple weeks after that, we've got Elk Ridge, Maryland, and Malvern, Pennsylvania. So a very full upcoming calendar for the Skype user group. Please make sure if you missed registering for this quarter, go get signed up now, and we'll see you there. So, okay, now this is cool. Meet Surface Hub 2. There is a really cool video in here that I want you to go and watch because it covers all these features that are covered in here, and it does it in such an artful and cool marketing way that you've got to watch it. I thought about playing it during this recording, but I didn't want to take up 2 minutes playing the video. So take 2 minutes extra of your life to go watch that video. Definitely worth getting a look at what's coming. I'm going to skim over much of this blog post because much of this is some serious marketing speak. But there is some really cool eye candy in these pictures to check out. There's a video. Watch it. Super awesome. First, we go over some of the specs of this thing, all right? The Surface Hub 2 is sleeker, more agile, and more affordable to fit any workspace or work style. A lot of people had a hard time with the cost of the Surface Hub, so good to hear. It has a 4K 50.5-inch display. Multi-touch display creates an inviting canvas to co-create, harnessing the power of, here we go, Teams. Yes, Teams on a hub. Whiteboard, Office 365, Windows 10, and the intelligent cloud. The 4K cameras that rotate with the device, and if you're wondering what I mean by that, watch the video. It is so freaking cool watching that happen. Integrated speakers and far-field microarrays allow everyone in the meeting to feel as if they are right in the room with the rest of the group. Well, their standard Surface 3:2 aspect ratio means everyone has more usable space to create and collaborate. I told you, a lot of marketing speak, but some good facts in there. Their partnership with Steelcase that they called out here to create this series of rolling stands and easy-to-use mounts appear to be a good way to go. Not only can these things mount on the wall in a really cool fashion, but they can roll around on these really cool little steel carts, whatever you want to call them. And they rotate to be at a whole different, it's so cool. They're so slick and they're sleek, and these are going to fit into more environments than the hub already fits in. They're going to be perfect for so many other situations. And one of the things I love that is in the video that you just have to see for yourself, an incoming call, you turn these things to the, what's the right way to put that? I forget what the actual ratio is called. Anyway, when you turn them upright and you answer a call, a video call, and it comes in, that person you're looking at takes up the whole screen. They are life-size right in front of you. It's like you're having an in-person conversation. Such a cool experience. Again, check out the video. But this looks like it was a good move. This partnership with Steelcase, that's going to be handy for wheeling them around office and places like that. Tiling, so cool. This was a huge ask for a lot of hub customers. The ability to tile these things, put a bunch of them up in succession, and either have something span across all together or have them just present individual bits of information, but all as one big board. And now that capability is coming. Imagine how much your team could get done being able to work simultaneously across Microsoft Whiteboard, Power BI, PowerPoint, and a full view video call. Indeed, that is quite a concept, and I cannot wait to see it in action. Move beyond meetings to real-time teamwork. They call out this using multi-user sign-in capability. Multiple people can authenticate in the same Surface Hub 2 workspace allowing them to simultaneously access their documents and ideas, merging them with the ideas of their teammates, and making collaboration as natural as meeting at a whiteboard. Yeah, just sounds really cool. Now that it sounds super cool and you're all excited about it, when can you have it? Yeah, you better sit back down and wait for a while. In 2018, they're going to begin testing the Surface Hub 2 with select commercial customers, and then it's going to be available for purchase in 2019. Notice they don't say when or even a quarter in 2019, so just be ready to chill out for a while. It's coming eventually. In the meantime, the video is really super exciting and cool. Check that out. Okay, direct routing was finally put into public preview. This came out the 15th, a week ago. And this is, I mean, this is really cool. As they call out in here, Teams, got calling capabilities, PSTN capabilities via an announcement that they made back in December. And this was, opened up the realm of PSTN calling to Teams users within 9 different countries where calling plans were already present. However, CCE was not available for Teams. It was only for Skype for Business Online, which meant that people in other countries still couldn't do PSTN calling. That is being changed with the idea of direct routing, or as my friends across the pond like to say, direct routing. This is essentially, think about the concept of CCE, but take away the CCE requirement. A direct connection from Teams to an on-prem SBC. Okay, so that's the whole concept of direct routing here. If you haven't heard of this yet, but you did hear of Bring Your Own Trunk previously, that's what it was called before they came out with the official name of direct routing. Um, Obviously, there are things you're going to need to have in place to test this out and join the public preview. Office 365, you're going to need to have a tenant in place with Teams up and running and phone system in your tenant. Whether that's E5 or some other add-on mechanism, those are the pieces you need to have to begin using direct routing as far as Office 365 goes. Now, on the on-prem side of things, you obviously need a voice infrastructure with voice trunks that you're going to get through your telecom provider, but you're going to need an SBC to bridge that gap. Microsoft has been working very closely with a few key vendors on SBC testing and the certification process. As you can see here, we've got audio codes, Ribbon, and ThinkTel with links to each information for each of them that have been tested, and they're going to piloting can be started with them essentially where you're at this phase. So, like I said, still working on certification, but audio codes, Ribbon, ThinkTel. Getting started. If you're new to Teams, review the practical starting guidance. If you're not new to Teams and you're not new to calling within Teams, maybe you'll want to look at the plan and configure direct routing articles, respectively. Links to each of those. I'm not going to link to them myself, but I'm going to link to this article so you can go to them. Also, they link to a deeper dive video on YouTube. It's about 40-something minutes. It take some patience to get through, but it is very good at explaining the concepts and walking through all these steps involved. So you might want to check that out just to get yourself teed up and ready to try this out. Now, stepping over to the Ribbon side of things, the SBC Edge 1000 and 2000 is what documentation currently exists for as far as best practices for configuring Microsoft Teams direct routing. If you scroll through here, this is very familiar to those of you that have worked on Sonus SBCs previously. At least the format of this article, you get your topology example, your high-level information, and then they get down into all the pieces you're going to need, all the details, all the configuring stuff, screenshots, lots of good stuff here for setting up your SBC 1000 or 2000. So I'll leave that to you to dig deeper into. On the audio code side, if you work with the audio codes Mediant family of media gateways and session border controllers, they have put out a connecting audio codes SBC to Microsoft Teams direct routing PDF, version 7.2. That is the version you need to be working with if you're going to be doing this with audio codes. I'm not going to read through this because as you look at this list, the table of contents, there are a lot of pages, lots of really good detail and information in here. All the stuff you need to get started, your images, your pictures, your examples. Like I said, 7.2 is the what you need to be on for the audio codes, SB seeds. You'll want to grab this document so you can get started with setting up direct routing. This is what you will need if you are going to begin the direct routing in the audio codes world. So there you have it, direct routing. It is here in preview. Time to get started and figure out if this is going to be a part of your environment or not. Itchy nose, allergies, I guess. All right, here we go. GDPR. GDPR. So many of us have had to start learning, all of us pretty much, a pretty steep curve here about what GDPR is. We may have possibly procrastinated a bit and we're now playing some serious catch up, but GDPR is on the precipice of being a very real thing. And so organizations across much of the world need to figure out how they're going to be handling data and requests, GDPR related requests from users for data. Um, that may be a bigger problem for some more than others. For those of us in the Skype for Business and Link world, we might get asked, look, how are we going to meet requirements if we get GDPR requests as it relates to a user's communication over Skype for Business or Link? And this article is a very brief listing on a few of the mechanisms that can be used for exporting data for a user if they ask. First up, we've got conversation history, voicemail notifications and transcripts, and meeting invites. Those are all pieces of data that are stored in Exchange Server. So you are pointed to a link for GDPR for Exchange Server. That'll show you what to do for meeting those requests. Next up, we've got contact lists, which are stored in the SQL Server database. The two options they give you there, the simple one on the bottom, use the export-cs user data commandlet. Next up, end users can also just right click on the group header of a contact list and select copy. That'll copy all their contacts in that group, and then they can be pasted into another app. So there you go, that's contacts. Next, content that was uploaded into meetings, like your PowerPoint files, or content generated in the meeting, like your whiteboards or Q&A, is stored in the file share. Okay, so if people want to access that stuff, that can be exported if the end users log back into the meeting that has not expired and download any uploaded content or take screenshots in the case of generated content. Meet Now meetings that are not in the Exchange calendar and contact list and contact rights, family, coworker, etc., are in the user database. So again, you will go back to the export-cs user data commandlet. That's it. That's all I've got for GDPR today. May the force be with you all as you try to navigate this new GDPR world. Okay, last up, nothing major on this, but there were a few brief updates to the Mac client for April. The release date is May 8th. As we go through these, you'll see there are 5 items listed. 4 of them are fixes, and the only one that's not a fix is a change in how your IM disclaimer messages are displayed. Not earth-shattering. So if that interests you, or if any of these fixes apply to your experiences with the Mac client, you might want to go and update the Mac client. Outside of that, there's really nothing huge and new to be said for these updates. That's it. We've made it through. If you have survived and are still with me through this recording, thank you for your patience. Thanks for it. All right. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys all here on the next episode of the Teams Recap. Adios.